Well, good morning, everyone. I am Stephanie Gillis, and welcome to Grow Global, where today we are going to experience this top-notch agent, barely in the business 4 years, how he became a superstar overnight doing what we're all supposed to do. As a real estate agent, what is your number one job? Anybody? Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. What is your number one job? Or is anybody responding to that, or they don't know what their job is?
No, we've got
It's
one.
leads.
We've got one responding. See what anybody else comes up with.
Laura has responded. There you go. All right. Service and support. No, Gypsy. That's number
Leads,
two.
baby,
Great.
leads.
Look, your number one job as a real estate agent or a real estate broker is lead generation, right? Because if you're not generating leads, you have no problems to solve. You have no people to service, and you have no people to support. So that is why today we're going to have none other than Thano out of Indianapolis, who, we're going to dive into your career, but this is what you've done is you've made sure to master your number one job as a real estate professional, and that is lead generation. So welcome, everybody. We'll put some things in the chat at the end. We'll show off our website of resources and where you can find these recordings at the end, because John won't let me forget. But Thano, let's take it over, man. Thank you so much for showing this.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to jump right into it. I'm going to share my screen here so we can see everything. Make sure this works right. All right. Can everybody see that?
We can. It looks great.
Wonderful. Okay. So lead generation. Before I jump into all the, in the Marine Corps, I'm taking over for Jim. He's not here. We got the Marine Corps represented. Death by PowerPoint. It's the easiest way to get it across. But before I do that, lead generation is more than just putting names in a CRM. It's more than just putting them on a notepad in a spreadsheet. It's the follow-up, it's the communication, it's everything that goes into what you do with those leads. So we're going to dive into how to get them. What are you going to do with them? How are you going to stay in touch with them? And how are they going to, in the end, turn into money? Because that's what we want them to turn into sales. And if they don't, then what good are those leads doing in your CRM? So with that, and I put in here strategies for the modern realtor. That's one thing. As times are changing, again, Stephanie, there's a lot of people in here who've been in this business for 20, 30 years. And I remember, heck, 20 years ago, when I was first dabbling in real estate on the investor side, there was not a whole lot of technology. It was nowhere near what we are now. So that's one of the biggest things I want to emphasize is the technology aspect of how you need to do lead generation. You can kind of take real estate 1.0 and we're going to meld it into real estate 2.0 to make sure that everybody can take what you already know, if you're a veteran, and turn it into, what we're doing in today's world with CRM, marketing, websites, automation, and the dreaded AI. So let's jump in. Let's see here if it's going to work. Oh, there we go. So again, we're going to jump in with technology, the platforms that we need to use, things like CRM systems, KV Core, Follow Up Boss. We've got a big Salesforce tower here in Indianapolis. There's all different types of CRM systems, customer relationship management tools that allow you to, again, stay in touch with your database. Make sure that you're communicating. Make sure, because if you're not communicating, 10 other agents are. So we all know, I know when I was an investor, I could have thrown a rock and hit probably 5 realtors if we were at a party. So all that said, it really boils down to what are you doing to keep your name top of mind, your brand top of mind. So it's using these platforms, having a great website, having a marketing plan. Don't just do the marketing plan for today, for tomorrow, do it for the entire year. And again, we'll get into AI and how AI can help you write that out. And it's scary to think about what AI can do, but it will help eliminate the amount of time that most people have said, okay, I just can't do this. I don't have the time. Well, the AI tools that are in place now are great and help eliminate all that time. I'm doing, and 10 hours a week, what used to take me, or sorry, 10 hours a month, that used to take me about 40 hours a month. So I've cut down, 75% of that time of creating marketing materials, and have now been able to put that towards relationships, going to see clients, going to create events, things like that. So again, the technology aspect is, they're not just, like I said, they're not just tools, but think of it as a partner in your business. You rely on your lenders, you rely on your title companies, you rely on all these aspects to get a deal to the closing table and beyond. This is now a part of that toolkit. It is a partner in your business. So again, it's a competitive market, especially I know in Indianapolis, the rates are up like everybody else has, and there's realtors that are leaving the business, but there's still a ton that are coming into the business, because it is a low barrier to entry, but it's a high barrier to stay. So doing things like this is what's going to keep you competitive in this type of a market. So, okay, CRM systems, streamlining your client interactions. Modern CRM systems, again, I use the word, it's kind of a buzzword, revolutionizing how you manage and nurture your clients. So for example, Zillow leads, if you get Zillow leads, if you get any other type of source of paid leads that are coming in, if you don't have speed to lead, you're missing out. When those people are on Zillow, I go on Zillow every night usually. I should be using my own website, but I go to Zillow. Everybody goes to Zillow. So if you're getting a Zillow lead and they're looking at houses, what better time to have a text message, email go through than right at that moment when their app is still open and they see a text message come in. Hey, Thano, I see you're looking at 123 Main Street. How could I help? Something simple, just to get your name in front of them right away. Because we get those leads all the time that come in. So if you're not the first to touch base with them, you're probably not going to get their business. Having these CRM systems in place for your lead generation it's imperative. Okay, so we're going to buzz through this real quick. Let's see here. I'm going to come out. Can you guys?
Yep, we can see you're switching to KV Core.
Perfect. So I use KV Core as well as Follow Up Boss. And I encourage people to check out all the different systems that you have, because there's one system's not going to fit everybody. As you grow, as a team grows, there's going to be things that you're going to need from different systems. But for example, here, so when I've got all of my leads segmented out so that if I want to reach out within my CRM system and use the technology quickly and effectively, I go out and I build filters so they segment all of my leads. So I do geo marketing, geo leads, so geo targeting for all of my database. My entire database goes into Facebook and it goes into Google, and then they get retargeted anytime that they search for anything related to homes, home updates, home repairs, gardening, you name it. Anytime they're searching for that, they're seeing my lead. One of our team members, she sends me a text one night and she's like, hey, this just popped up on my feed when I was looking for some home remodeling stuff. And it was a picture of me with my name and my brand. I said, bingo, that's what I want. That's what people are seeing. And that's why it's important. So then when somebody comes into my website and signs up, I know exactly where they come from and they will filter in there. Stephanie, one of the things that you shared and I took and ran with it is the code violators. And while it hasn't brought me a new closed deal yet, one of the amazing success stories was a lady reached out to me. She said, what is this? Why are you telling me I have a code violation? And I said, I'm just here to provide value. I want to make sure that you know that in the Indianapolis database, you have a code violation. And here's exactly what it is. Here's the phone number to call to make sure it's rectified. And if you have any further questions, let me know and I'll help you get this taken care of. And she's like, that's all you're doing. You're not trying to sell me a house. You're not trying to get me to sell my house. I said, no, I want to make sure that your house is in good standing so you don't get hit with any fines or have these things roll up over time. And she's like, well, that's amazing. And so I said, hey, do you mind if I just keep you in my database and send you out monthly reports about your neighborhood, your market, what's happening, and get our newsletters? And she's like, that would be great. Perfect. She stays in my database for my newsletters. And now my brand, my name, my face is in front of her 1, 2, 3, 4 times a month. just because I sent out a message that she had a code violation. And she's got about a $400,000 house, which is well above the value of our average sales here in Indianapolis. So again, it's building that database, it's building that pipeline so that people see you. And it's not always about the right now. Yes, we need things right now, but if you don't keep doing these types of things within your database and using your CRM, that lead generation is all of a sudden going to stop one day and you're like, oh no, I'm out of leads. I don't have anybody to talk to. Now, when you're doing these types of things and using, again, we can get into a million different ways to generate leads, and we will. Having this type of communication on a regular basis is it's gonna grow that database. Right now, my database is over 15,000. I've been in the business for 4 years, just starting my 4th year. I do this because I know that the numbers don't lie. If I can get 10, 15, 20,000 people in my database, and they don't all have emails, they don't all have phone numbers. Some have phone numbers, some have emails, some have both. Some have none. I've just got addresses. That's what I do for farming. We'll get into that in a little bit. For lead generation. All that said, numbers don't lie. The more people you put in your database like this, you can export if you use Gmail, Yahoo, literally go onto YouTube and just search, how do I export all of my emails from my personal Gmail account? You can export them into a CSV, put them right in here, and have a label that says Gmail. You can do it with your iPhones. I don't know about Android. I'm a Blue Bubble guy. If again, go to YouTube, search it, put all those leads in your database. Why wouldn't you want them in there to communicate with? Let them unsubscribe. If they have communicated with you at any point in time, throw them in there, say, hey, just adding you to my database. You guys all know I'm a realtor. I'd love to be the one just to give you information. Again, if they don't want it, they'll hit unsubscribe, and your database will clean itself out by sending out these emails on a regular basis. Okay, so let's jump back into the presentation real quick. I'm just going to leave it like this. My background a little bit, I should have started with this. I've got about 15 years of marketing background. I've had my own agency in Florida with a business partner. I've worked in multiple agencies. I was a former photojournalist in the Marine Corps, and I worked in marketing and sales for years in the agency world. So looking at this, like, you have to lean into this. Like, it is a tool that, let's just say that if you leave it behind, you will likely miss out on a ton of business, because using these tools, it's going to show people that you are staying up with the times, you are advanced, you are the one that they want in their corner when it comes time to fight for them in their real estate transaction. You've got all the tools necessary to make sure that you're getting the job done. So right here, one of the things that a lot of people, and everybody has their different numbers, conversion rates. Okay, I'm buying these leads. I've got Zillow. I'm doing internet leads. I'm running ads on social media. How many should I expect to convert? Well, warm leads like Zillow, anybody who's raising their hand and says, I need information on this house, they're going to convert at a much higher rate. Now, your internet leads, social media, things like that, 1% to 3%. If you're making your phone calls and you're doing everything and you're following up, I hate that word, follow up. If you're doing your job and reaching out and communicating and keeping those lines of communication open, your conversion rate is going to be probably 2% to 3%. 1% is about the average to below average. So expect 1%. So you get 100 leads, you're going to close one of them if you're doing your job. With that, it's all about the right message in there as well. You can't just send out a ton of information and just blast it out and expect people to say, hey, let's talk. No, you need to provide value. A quick example of that, and Stephanie, this kind of hits into something you've talked about in the past as well, is pre-foreclosures, or if there's any kind of legal action against homes. These people are in a tough spot. You know, we saw 15 years ago when the bubble burst, there was a lot of people that were going through tough times, losing their homes. It sucks. Nobody wants to deal with those kind of calls because they're getting those calls from the collectors. So what I did, we get all of our pre-foreclosure leads. I go out and I get those, and I say, okay, if that was me, and I'm not your salesy guy, I sit behind this desk and I let the systems work for me. What I do, I went out and I found a resource, 20 different resources that help people get through foreclosure issues. Now, we as realtors know, if you were on the previous Grow Global call with, I can't remember his name right now, Stephanie, that did the lending, when he talked about once that first payment's missed, the likelihood is they're never going to regain and get right with their mortgage. So if you're the one providing value, saying, hey, I'm not here to try and sell your home out from under you. I want to provide value. So I send out 20 emails when I get a new pre-foreclosure lead. They get one email over, it's about 30 days, about 20 emails in a month with a resource, a different resource, every single email saying, hey, I know you're struggling. I know you're going through this. Take a look at this resource. This may help you in your situation. If not, be on the lookout. There's going to be a few more coming over the next 2-3 weeks. And what I do is I provide value. You know, if they can smell the commission breath coming a mile away and they're already in a shameful, hurtful position where they're about to lose their house, it's not, you're not going to reach them properly. Now, at least in my opinion, again, these are all my opinions. Some people are more cutthroat and they go for it, you know, hardcore. I'm more build that relationship, especially here with our team. You know, relationships matter. That's one of our core values. And that's my goals. I'm trying to use these tools and I set it and forget it. Again, as soon as a pre-foreclosure lead comes in, boom, it's set up and they're getting the right message and they're getting it at the right time and it's helping me convert. So these people will reach out and say, hey, sorry, no, we're all good. We don't want any information. They're embarrassed, but you know, they don't unsubscribe. So I take them off the drip campaign, but they'll still get our monthly newsletters. So again, it's ways to provide valuable information to show people. And again, like I said, I don't do anything other than build the campaigns. And that's where your time comes back. So you can go out and get more leads to put in the system and keep running these tools. Okay. So outreach, engagement, that's just a quick example of how we can take this and use these systems to create work behind the scenes and keep on going out and doing other things. Website platforms. Okay. Quick question for the room. Who in here manages their website, updates their website on a daily or weekly basis? I'd be curious to see what kind of answers we have on that question. And for some reason, I can't see the chat. Oh, there it is. Okay. But yeah, so if you guys raise a hand, whatever, if you guys are active with making sure that your website is up to date with current information, I'd love to see what you guys do and how often you guys do that in the chat. The website. So let me paint a picture. So your website it's an arm. Your CRM is the body of your business. It has everything. It runs everything. And your website is what's going to bring in leads. It's the arm bringing things back into you. And if you've got arms that don't work, you can't eat, you can't work, you can't do all those things. So what I tell people is make sure that your website, and again, we use KV Core for our website. Let me bring up, where are we at here? I've got too many tabs open. There we go. So this right here is our team website. And once it loads, we got too many people in the office today. There we go. So, you know, again, this is simple website setups that are templates that are very easy to edit for us. So I go in and I go take care of this. I update it as often as I can. We've got different areas that people can click on to get information about specific cities, specific areas, counties, things like that. We have luxury listings here. We have quite a few of those. So we have that marketed. Do they want a local market report on their neighborhood, testimonials about the entire team, and then again, the listings, things like that, and then blogs. We'll get into blogs in just a minute. But again, we have these plugins here as well that allow for everybody to reach out. So we use I use a AI chatbot on my personal page, but as a team, we use our follow-up boss that rings to a smart number. So it's always there. People always have that call to action in front of them. So again, it's all about having relevant and valuable information that people could want, need, or just want to browse. So all that's there. We've got Meet the Team. We've got our partners. So our title partners, our lender partners, our home warranty partners, our inspectors, accounting, you name it. We've got strategic partners that are listed on our website. And that's, again, part of lead generation is, who are your partners in business? Are you leveraging them? Are they on your website? Are you on theirs? What are you doing to create those partnerships and those relationships to have a really good web presence? Because the more places you're at on the web, the more opportunities you have for people to see your information and get back to your website. Because ultimately, we want them searching for homes on your website versus Zillow, Realtor, Homes.com, wherever else. So all that said, here's a team IDX connected to your local MLS provider type website. Additionally, I've got a personal brand. So I want people to know who I am, not just me as a realtor, but some additional information. So I've branded myself out there, more than just real estate, but it's got a little bit about my background, my education, my experience, different jobs I've had, similar to a resume. But again, people need to see who you are. They're researching you as soon as they hear about you. It's a day and age of Google searching, and if your digital presence is not out there, you're not going to be getting people that want to do business with you and having those leads created. Who do you have helping you update your KV Core website? That Svetlana, that is me. I am the team's marketing and IT guy. I'm happy to chat offline. It's something I love doing, so I can definitely help with that. But I run all of that myself from my past. So again, I highlight again everything in here talking about who I am. I'm military friendly. I'm a U.S. Marine veteran. I work with relocations. I've done luxury deals. I work with investors, and I've done a lot with first-time home buyers. So again, let people know what you do, because I know, Stephanie, you've go ahead. Yeah.
No, I was just getting ready to say, I absolutely love that you've done this, and I'm taking down notes. I love that I'm learning, right? And I mean, I hope everybody's taking notes, because right here is such a key to, your website presence has to be stellar, right? I mean, think about it. If you go to the web or social media, would you hire you, and why? Ask yourself that question. But I love that you've put here very precisely, exactly, so that the veterans are going to go, oh man, military, I'm doing it, just on that alone, or first time home buyer, all of those things. That makes sense. So kudos to you for really, I mean, this is excellent. Excellent.
Yeah, thank you. And again, it's super important to, again, like you said, have that out there. And I've started building out examples of previous home sales to kind of show a little bit of each category, to say, hey, I could tell you that I do all this, but I'm going to show you the different items that I've done. One of my pride and joys was a friend of the family. She owns a business. She's part of my wife's sphere. She built a luxury townhouse in Carmel here for 1.1, and we sold it for 2.1 18 months later. And she trusted me just because I kept talking to her. I wasn't afraid to go after that business. And now, again, that'll lead into another lead generation opportunity, because she owns a local business and we are partnering to do amazing things here in the area. Again, why me? Minimize that. This is where I kind of put in our core values. It's more than a transaction. Why our relationships matter, and that we have tailored service that goes beyond the transaction. Obviously, that's all great there. Client feedback. And then I highlight my vendor partners. Didn't load properly there. Websites, they've got a mind of their own sometimes. But again, I could go on for this forever. I've got my moving company. Just a note there, I reached out to them. I cold emailed them, cold called them, set up a meeting. We are now we do a ton of referrals back and forth, and the owner of the company, we're in the middle of a transaction, and one of the owners of the construction arm of this company, we're actually going to the design meeting for his new build today. So just from reaching out to this moving company and reaching out cold and saying, I want to build a relationship because I don't have a mover. I've gotten 2 new deals, and the owner of the moving company wants to buy 3 to 4 rental properties every year moving forward. So again, creating those relationships, reaching out. If you don't have these strategic partners, reach out to them, provide value. Yeah, I think year 1, we sent them, I want to say over $125,000 in moving referrals. So yeah, they come to us first for all real estate work. So it's a matter of just providing value, and again, have calls to action. The blogs, keep highlighting the people that are connected to you, and again, provide value. Again, I can't say it enough. Get it out there as much as you can. Obviously, all of my clients and partners that I work with, and then a contact me page. So again, this is a lot. It took a lot. I built this out. I bought a template and did all the work. It's a lot, but it can be done. It's not that hard. If you want it, I am not being compensated by my vendors. It is strictly a business relationship. They trust me. I trust them. And if I've got somebody that fits into their wheelhouse that needs their services, I just send them over. It's just an honest, hardworking business relationship there. Okay, so let's get back into it. The website. I can't say enough about websites. They are important. They are your face. They are your brand. If people don't know, like, and trust you, and they don't see something they like, and our business images everything, they're probably going to go on to the next one. So I would highly consider, as we're going in, we're deep into Q4 now, and we're getting ready to go into Q1. This is the time. Things are going to slow down. If you've got the time, get on YouTube. You can find everything you need online to what can I do to improve my website? How can I use AI to write blogs? All that. Okay, let's keep going. Integrating CRM with marketing. So I'm going to show you real quick. So lead generation, there's a lot of different ways to generate leads. There we go. So here's a landing page that I built. And what I do is I went on a trip to Cuba. Not a lot of people get to go to Cuba. I had an amazing story. We were delivering water filters. It was amazing. I loved it. I saw the change it brought to people. And I said, you know what? I want to donate $100 for every transaction I do and buy 2 water filters. These water filters last for 10 years. And it's an amazing gesture that will give people clean water and keep them, so much more healthy. And it's all about community. It's giving back. It's showing that there's something I care about. So I built this landing page. I set up an email. I sent it to my entire database and said, starting right now, any transaction from here on out, every closing, I'm going to donate $100 or 2 water filters. They're going to go to Cuba. And I got so many responses like, oh, this is amazing. This is great. We love this. It's amazing. Like seeing, like, again, I put a video in there where when you click on it, it literally plays right there and they hear my story. So be genuine, find things that matter to you and email them out to your database. Find partners that you can give back to. Because in the day, it's in our business, at least what I've seen, people are like, oh, you make so much money. You make so much money. Well, I work my butt off to make that money, but I'm also going to give it back. I want to make sure I'm doing the right thing. And that's a personal thing. I like to give back. I like to be charitable. Our family does. So this was important to me and I decided to do it. And it got amazing results. People are just ecstatic and I literally have a filtration system that I take with me to closing at the closing table. And they saw, people like, oh, I can't wait to see this at closing. Yeah, I'll show you guys how it works. It's great. It's another way to make sure that you're reaching your people and being in touch with your database all the time. Laura, where do you get your newsletters from? Do you make one? Yeah, so I do my own newsletter. I built one out in Canva. I love Canva. There's so much that you can do. Especially with AI now in Canva, you can have it build out so much for you. That's a great way to get into a newsletter build out, but most of your CRMs that have email service allow you to build out a very basic, straightforward newsletter, or you can build out a very nice one like MailChimp or any of those services. But don't get hung up on how nice it has to be or how fancy it is. The biggest thing is you want to get valuable information out from you to them. Drew, yes. Drew is a great example of somebody who's jumped into this hardcore over the past 2-3 years since I've been here. With them is seeing his use of texting and emailing through database. I know it's brought him a ton of success, and I absolutely love seeing that. Okay, so again, there's all the website stuff, marketing, landing pages, taking links for specific properties and getting them on your social media page. So part of your marketing for a new listing, you should be getting out here, getting a link. Again, this is you can do it through any of your marketing databases within your CRMs, as long as they have a marketing arm within them. You can create a specific link to a specific property. So if I wanted to put one of my, let's see here, we'll use one of my actual listings that is not selling. I've done this for a bunch. I've done this a bunch for this one. So I would put in the address, and then I would generate a link. I would take that link and I would share it on social media. And anytime somebody clicks on that link and registers, boom, I've got a new lead. A drip campaign, which we'll get to that here momentarily, get started. Okay, I know I feel like I'm sending out a bunch of information. We're about 30 minutes in. Are there any other questions about what we've seen so far?
I think, Thano, you're doing tremendous. There is a lot of information. And what I want people to understand, if they haven't gotten into utilizing a CRM, a lot of what Thano has showed us, it's not because he's a magician. He is a magician, but it's not like he's mastered how to build websites and how to do this and how to do that. These things that he's showing you, if you have a very good CRM, which, there's many options out there, but they're clicking of buttons. They're not that intimidating. You try it one time and then you've mastered it, and KV Core, I utilize KV Core as well. And so does my team. And to build those landing pages, you can do it on anything. I mean, you can build a seller's value landing page where it just says, what's my home value? And then you collect, leads that way because people are curious about it. There are people in my CRM that I've been in the business since 1999. CRMs didn't even come about. Top Producer was my first CRM in 2002. Okay. And I have people in my CRM that are 22 years old. Have I sold them something? Who knows? But what I love the most is that I keep dripping on them, and randomly I'll get these calls from, Steve Smith that says, Stephanie, I know it's been a long time since we had a conversation. However, I get your emails every single week, and I finally want to go look at this property. And I'm sitting there searching Steve Smith going, who the hell is he? But because I didn't stop communicating with him, or rather the system didn't stop communicating with him, guess what? He's still my client. So that's what this is about. This is building not only a short-term game, but your long game into always having that rotation of clients that keeps going. So I just want to add that in because no, your information's spot on and awesome.
Okay, Jacob had a really good question here. He said, let's go back to year one, first few months you were in the business. Were you just working the site or were you cold calling back then as well? So here's a really cool story. And when I first started, let's see, year one, which was a great year, 2020, 2021, I'm lead generation. It's the only reason I stayed in this business. I was able to get listings. I was able to generate leads for listings, and I lasted. And what I did was I got into the FSBOs. I got into the expireds. I set up drip campaigns. I set up email. When I say drip campaigns, text messages, emails, and then prompts for me to make phone calls. So yes, I did call, but not that often. I'm not a cold caller. I worked in inside sales for all of probably 8 months. It was not my jam. I'm good at it. I would go whale hunting with it. So I would call the ones that I knew I would probably get a lot of business from. Now, a quick example of that is letting the system work for me. I had an expired listing that was in the system. I put it in there. It was getting the text messages. The fourth text message that went out, he responded back and said, "Hey, is the home staging that you were talking about included in your commission?" I said, "Nope, but I would love to get out and take a look at the house and see how I can help you get it ready. We've got a home stager on staff. He gives us a great discount because he's on our team." And boom, 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 boom. He's like, "Well, it's actually been listed already again." I was like, "Okay, well, what can I do to earn your business?" He said, "Bring me a buyer." Boom, done. One of the guys from our team had a buyer, done, sold 4 weeks later, closed. I said, "Where's the next listing that I can come see?" And we're going to do business. So that one text message has led to tens of thousands of dollars of commissions. And that's, again, just by making sure they were in the system and getting my messages, getting my emails, getting my newsletters on a regular basis, and my name was in front of them. Now, not only has that flipper been on repeat with me, but one of his contractors, fiancés, was at another brokerage here in Indianapolis, and she was thinking about moving teams. And he's like, "Hey, Thano was at this house that we're flipping and we're working on. You need to talk to him and his team." Boom. We set up a meeting. She's on our team. She's actually in the top 2 or 3 on our team for sales this year. And that, again, that one text message has not only brought me a lot of business, but it brought a new agent to our team who has in turn grown her business, I would say probably 2 to 3 fold since her first year in real estate. And she's just starting her 3rd year. So again, yes, I get out there, I cold call, I send text messages, I send emails. Year one, I did 9.2 million my first year. And I sold a $2.1 million luxury listing not even my first year in real estate, at like month 10. And not saying that to brag, but I'm saying that because the systems work. Use the systems work, and they will work for you, and you will work less on the day-to-day kind of mundane stuff and be able to go do the fun stuff. And with that, then, I took that system and I'd say probably that first year, 50% of my business came from my CRM. 50%, because I let it work for me, and I let it drive my business and my brand. Because if I wasn't in front of those people, like we always know, somebody else would have been. Okay, let's keep rocking and rolling. Integrating your CRM, it can be connected to anything. There's APIs, which are integrations, to all different dashboards, to like Zillow can connect to it. And if it doesn't connect directly, there's an amazing tool called Zapier. I'm happy to talk more about that. And again, I'll put my information in the chat here. Feel free to reach out with questions. I love helping people. It makes me happy. And send me an email, and I'm happy to answer any questions offline on any kind of integration, with your marketing, with your website, with all that information. So consistency is key. You need to be doing it on a regular basis. And success stories, we've started talking about it, but technology can be scary. But when you take the time, AI, I'm going to give you a quick success story. I'm a trained writer. I was a professional journalist for the Marine Corps, published in New York Times, Boston Globe, you name it. I've got bylines. It's fun. I had a great time. I don't have time to write anymore. Like, I just don't. So I went into AI and I said, okay, I need to learn how to write prompts, because AI is great, but if you don't know how to use it, just like anything else, it's not going to do its job. So our blogs, everybody's, oh, blogs. Everybody writes blogs. What are they doing? They're not giving me any business. And I say, well, there's certain things you just need to do. Here in Indianapolis, the Indianapolis 500, everybody knows about it. It's the greatest spectacle in racing. I said, you know what? We're going to just write a blog about the history of the Indianapolis 500 on our website. We're going to put it on our social, and that's it. We had 1,650 new visitors to our website reading about the history of the Indy 500 on a real estate website. it's not about real estate. It's about getting people to your website, and they're going to be like, okay, I'm going down here. And then anytime Speedway, that's going to say, it says search for properties in Speedway, Indiana, which is part of Indianapolis. And, having this type of system where, you're able to connect. I'm trying to find where Indianapolis, squinting. There we go. So again, it links to all the properties. So if properties in Indianapolis, yeah, let me take a look. They're going to start looking for homes then. So it's all about getting people, bring them into your website and creating leads. So we get this all the time. We're anywhere from 200 to 300 visitors from a blog all the way up to, 1,650. And again, doing this on a regular basis, the algorithm needs to see this, and you're going to be able to create all different types of leads coming in looking for information. And if you're providing value to people, not just trying to be a salesperson, but you need to be a person, hence salesperson, people are going to like that, things like that. And then, this was one that just went up a couple days ago. It's got 180, not bad. But again, just talking about why it's underrated to buy real estate in November, just things like that. AI writes all of this for me. It writes a blog with keywords, meta descriptions, everything I need to put it into a website in probably 5 to 10 minutes. For me to, when I used to have to write this and find sources and do all that, it would take hours. It would take 3 to 4 hours. So just know that using the tools that we all have access to, it's going to provide you the ability to do this without being, I don't know how. And again, I'm happy to connect with you and talk more about all of this offline in depth. I geek out about this kind of stuff. And Alex, that's why he lets me do it I get to do it for the team. It's an honor. Okay. Other success stories. Anybody in here? Is there any success stories you guys have with CRM marketing? I would love to hear from you guys if there's anything out there that really just, you said this worked great. I love this. Anybody?
Thano, I can go. I give away a TV every year. I've been doing this for, I think, 16 years of my 20 years in real estate. And I like to reward the behavior and not just, the result of the closings that we have. And so any buyer or seller or anyone that refers, I do a Black Friday special, and you can get a 50-inch 4K TV for less than $300 now. But I have a KV Core email that goes out October, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's. And then if they come to any of my client appreciation parties, they get entries into the TV giveaway. And literally, I just set it and forget it. And it's all email based. And people will respond and send me referrals and say, hey, Luke's moving back. Luke is his brother, from North Carolina to Indianapolis. Does this get me in your TV giveaway? And so it's just having a very high tech, but also high touch business has always been something that I've tried to provide. And you've helped me tremendously with just seeing how much I need that instead of me manually, doing it for everything that I do, throughout the year.
Yeah. And one thing with you, Drew, I know that you're a referral, repeat business agent. You don't go out and, as far as I remember, you don't go spend a ton of money on marketing and advertising and, lead generation that way, right?
Yeah, it's all back on my people. Like, you'll never see my face on the grocery cart at Kroger. One, I don't like bananas on my face, but two, I'd rather spend it back on the people and provide them, an experience, be a part of a memory. Like, we had a trunk or treat at my kid's school. 300 families came, and I was the guy that gave out 50 full-size candy bars if they could guess how many candy corn were in this jar. And it's something I do every year. And I get all these parents texting me afterwards. Mr. Drew had the place to go, and they keep talking about, how they're going to win it next year. So those are just things that I've always done, is spend money back on and being very intentional with what I'm doing each week.
Awesome. Love that. So again, these types of techniques, these types of tools work for, like I said before, the veteran who's been in the business forever, who like Drew works off of referral and repeat business, or somebody new like myself that has to go out and do true cold calling, lead gen, paid ads, things like that to build my database. Like the quickest way to get more business is building a database and staying in front of them. I mean, it's amazing that, starting my 4th year, I'm getting referrals, I'm getting, repeat business, I'm getting that coming back already. And it's amazing. It's what's keeping my bills paid. And it's enabling me to, they call me the 9 to 5 agent here. But I work at my desk a lot, and that's how I grow my business. And, it's not for everybody. It's not, but if you guys could take away one thing from all that I say today, I hope that you can find one thing that will help make your day-to-day business easier and leverage your time better, so that you can grow your business, get out and meet more people. And again, don't feel like, oh my goodness, I haven't done any of this, I'm not going to be able to. Doesn't matter if you've not started. Today's the perfect day to start. That's all. That's it. Like, jump in. Hire an ad agency. Yes. Like, if you've got the funds to go and do things like that, that's again being a way to leverage your time. It's who, not how. That's a great way. That's said many times. So again, looking to the future of real estate technology, websites, artificial intelligence, virtual reality, augmented reality, all these types of things are going to be coming into play. I encourage you, dip your toe in the water. Check out artificial intelligence, Chat GPT. There's so many different AIs out there now. I use Chat GPT to write everything for me. I use Quillbot to go through and take it and rephrase it, because Chat GPT is pulling stuff from all over the internet. I use all these other technologies to go and then rewrite it so it's original content. And there's so much to be done out there. And if you don't adapt, again, if you don't adapt to these trends, and I said this on one of my unpopular opinion posts in the past couple of weeks, AI is going to take over our jobs, not just ours, but jobs in general. It's not going to replace them, but it's going to take over. And if you aren't in that, if you don't have a general knowledge of that, people are going to start moving ahead. So I encourage you, reach out to me. I would love to sit down one-on-one. I've got a Calendly link that you can book 30-minute times on my calendar. I would love to chat and answer questions. Let's see here, a couple minutes. Let's see here. So there are a couple things I wanted to talk about that I didn't get to. Am I good for like 2-3 more minutes, Stephanie?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So with partners, there's a company, me as a veteran, trying to find where the website is. Here it is. So for the past 2-3 years, I'm like, oh, I need to do something on Veterans Day. I need to give back. And I've just let it go to the wayside. Finally, this year, I said, enough's enough. I partnered with one of my lenders and I said, hey, we need to give away a water heater to a veteran in need. And, I remember being overseas without hot water, without water in general to shower with, clean with, eat with. So I want to take a small step. So I reached out to a local plumbing, heating, and cooling company and said, hey, we would love to do this. I'm just looking for somebody to help me find a water heater and install it, because I know they can get it at better prices than I could ever buy it. So I was trying to work smarter, not harder. And the owner, she said, we tried to do this before and we fell flat. We needed the veteran to come in here and do this so that we could have a real reason. This is why we're partnering with the veteran to do this. So she jumped on, took it, said, we got 2 water heaters. We're going to give one away to a veteran and somebody who nominates a veteran. So it's all coming to my website. They're running radio ads. They're running, radio ads. We're running social media ads. We're hitting not just my database, but an entire HVAC, plumbing, and electrical database, my lender's database. Now it's hitting everywhere, and the web traffic just keeps coming and coming and coming in. And I've already got, let's see, two people who said in my form, it says, are you interested in buying or selling a home right now? I mean, again, I want to do this because I want to give back, but I'd be a fool not to see if people want to buy or sell a home, or if I can help them with that. So these are ways to make sure that you are staying in front of people, doing the right thing, giving back, showing that you are a part of your community, and generating business, because people want to be with and work with people that they trust, they know, like, and trust. And if you're giving back to your community saying, I'm putting my money where my mouth is at, hey, come be with me, come work with me. So yeah, so this has been an amazing opportunity for us to get the word out there, who we are. And they paid for the radio ads. I mean, thousands for an entire quarter. They're running these radio ads, and all the websites or all the visits are coming to us. They're mentioning us and all of our partners. So, and don't be afraid to reach out. I was scared. I'm like, oh, they're not going to want to do this with me. I'm just this little old guy in, northern Indianapolis, and I'm not the big $1 million seller here in Indianapolis, but I was authentic and I was genuine, and they saw that and they loved it. And now we're going to give away an air conditioner in the spring, and we're going to give away a furnace in the fall, and give away a water heater in the winter. She's like, we love this. We're all in. So again, don't be afraid to jump out and just go for it, because you never know what those results are going to bring. And that partnership now, I couldn't have paid enough for this type of partnership. And it was literally just from picking up a phone and making a phone call. So don't be afraid. Get out there, do it. Also, sponsor your local sports teams. I know Drew did this. We've got two people on our team that sponsor. One sponsored his soccer team, his club team that they played on, and Craig sponsored, I think, his daughter's swim team. They reached out to him, said, "Hey, we know you're a realtor. The last one who was going to sponsor it is not doing it anymore. Would you like to do it?" Boom, jump in. It's those small things where you can get involved. I remember Drew's story with when he was reffing or coaching the young kids basketball league, and he would take Gatorade wrapped in his brand and all that kind of thing. And it's those types of things that people see and people want to be involved with. So I can't say it enough. Get out there, partner. I guarantee you some of your past clients, current clients, they work in a place that could do the partnership. And then lastly, open houses. We're all doing open houses again because business has changed. If you have a certain area of business that you work in a lot of different homes that are within that small neighborhood area or geographic area, find a coffee shop, find a service-based type company, partner with them and say, hey, I'm going to print out 300 postcards that I'm going to take with me to every open house. They're going to be in my car. Every time I meet somebody, I want to share these. Will you split the cost with me? Because that's going to get your name. And do you have a coupon that you would be willing to give so they keep this? So I have them at every open house. I have them with me in the backseat of my car. B&W Plumbing, she took 300 of them, and then another 300 that she printed out a full flyer of. So things like this, anytime you have a giveaway or a partner or anything like that, that's an easy way to, instead of just saying, hey, here's my business card, what's your phone number? Hey, we're partnered, we're giving this away. Here's something that I think would be valuable to you. And then they've got your name, your face, your phone number, all that type of stuff. So just thinking outside the box, find ways to get those leads coming back to you. And to, again, QR code, I know it's weird, they're coming back. They're COVID brought those back. QR codes, use your CRM systems will also have ways to use QR codes to create the leads right into your CRM system. So all that said, I know we're at the end of our time. Thank you guys for tuning in and listening. Again, if you have questions, feel free to reach out to my email. That's the easiest way, and we can schedule some time on the calendar.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. I hope everybody found value in this. I mean, I don't see how there couldn't be value in this for sure. I mean, the rule of thumb is if you're out of sight, you're out of mind. The easiest way to stay in sight with your potential clients or your existing clients or your past clients is to stay in touch with them, period. Why not utilize the CRM? Why not keep that? When I talk to real estate agents and I say, how are you keeping track of people? They say a spreadsheet. I'm like, what the heck? You know, back in the day, when I started in this business in 1999, or what Jim Lembright, our normal host, would say, the 1900s, we didn't have a lot of the technology to do the work for us. You know, I used every excuse in the book in the past Thano to say, I can't do a blog. I don't have time. Well, now I'm ignorant for not doing a blog, and I'm going to talk really loud so my staff is listening. Jamie, we're writing blogs. Use your brain I bought you. That's what I say to her. Use the brain I bought you, which is the AI, Chat GPT subscriptions. We have no reasons, right? This is how you elevate. This is how you stay in business. I looked it up just now because I've known this statistic for a long time, but I looked it up to see if it changed. How many realtors successfully make it? 2 out of 10. Why do the 8 fail? Because they don't prospect well enough and they don't have a mechanism in place to follow up. Thano showed you all kinds of ways today. You can make an impact and you can stay in sight, which keeps you in mind, which keeps you winning. Thanks everybody for tuning in to Grow Global. I think John's put some things into the chat or our YouTube channel on where you can rewatch these videos or share them out to somebody that didn't make it to the call today. And what's up next week, John? What do we have next week?
We have Coach Rob Campbell, used to own 15 RE/MAX offices at one time. Broker Owner of the Year for RE/MAX is going to be teaching about business planning. Very timely.
Business planning.
With
Perfect.
everything we've got going on. So come back next week. Everybody's welcome, and bring a friend. How many people know an agent that could use some guidance from a former Broker Owner of the Year for RE/MAX to help them set 2024 up for success?
Everybody. The answer is everybody, even those that have been in the business for quite some time, because the market's shifting and we all need reminders about the shifting market and how we scale and how we elevate. So make sure you invite people, because this is all about helping every one of us win together. What I love about that too is that if you notice, and Thano didn't put a dollar value on what he was talking about today, because frankly, it's his time, right? I mean, you're not spending thousands of dollars doing any of this. And he said, watch YouTube a lot. And so when you come next week and start working on that business plan, and you think about, how many dollars do you need for marketing this next year? Well, don't worry about it being an obscene amount of money, because what we learned today is you can lead generate like a mother, which they wouldn't allow me to name this today, but that's what we should have said. You can lead generate like a mother for next to no dollars, right? You just have to have the right systems and tools in place. And so, if you're not utilizing a CRM, make sure to reach out, because look, Thano's a master at it and he'll help you through it. Okay.
Automation.
Hey, I'm going to tell you right now, a lot of my clients think that I'm a freaking rock star because I stay in so touch with them. Well, guess what? I'm not doing any of it. The system is, right?
Yeah.
That's what it's all about.
And AI is going to take it to the next level.
Yep. I bought Jamie a brain. Everybody invest in a brain. AI. There we go. Awesome, you all. Well, thanks for coming.
Thanks,
and
Thano.
Next week, same time, same link, realtormastermind.live, noon Eastern. We'll see you then.